Hello everyone. So there has been some drama going on regarding I guess how people were treated on Unexpected, and I just kind of want to tell my part. I was just going to do like a post about it, like a Q&A, but I feel like there was so much, so I just wanted to make a little video and discuss. But before I start out, I want to say that everyone had a different experience, and some people are still in contract doing another season, so they probably won't say anything bad even if they did not have the best experience. Also, we're all different ages, so like when I was 16, 17, I thought some of the stuff that the producers were doing, I was like, oh, this is okay. But now as like a 20-year-old, I'm like, oh, maybe that wasn't okay. So it could also just take some people more time to be like, maybe those questions were a little bit inappropriate. But I did want to come on and say what my experience was like. And yeah, so before I start, I do want to say, well, I guess this is me starting. I want to say that I, for the most part, had an amazing crew. I remember the mic person who would mic us up. Her name is Ko. She was super nice to me and my family, and since she's the mic person, she's constantly listening to everyone even when we're not filming. And I remember there was a scene and I really did not want to do it, and the producer kept pushing and pushing for us to do it, and like we just got really aggravated. And after we were done with our scene or whatever, she was de-micing us and she was like, I'm so sorry, like you had to do that, like I'm so sorry you guys. And she was apologizing even though it wasn't her fault. She was really great. We had another person, his name is Zach. I don't really know what he did. I know he got, like, if we wanted to film at a restaurant, he got those restaurants approved and where we could film and blah blah blah. He was also super nice. Like, me and my family love him. We love him. He was always super nice. Loved my dog Harley, would always take pictures of her. Like, he was great. And there was a lot of other great people as well. So my experience might be a little bit different than other people's because I did get along with the majority of my crew. They were respectful to me. My problems were normally with the producers. They would push me to do scenes I didn't want to do with people I didn't want to do scenes with, or have push storylines a certain way. And they would make me sit in the interview section for hours and hours until I said what they wanted me to say. Like, I remember one of my producers, they wanted to film a phone call with him while he was in rehab, and I never knew what time those calls would be, but they just wanted to catch one on camera. And so they followed me from the second I got out of school at noon until like 7 p.m. from when that phone call was. And I remember the producer kept getting really annoyed with Ava, even though she was a literal baby, because the toys she was playing with were too noisy, even though nothing was going on. And they would be like, can you take that away from her? And I'd be like, if I take it away from her, she's gonna cry, and that's gonna be way louder than the toy she's playing with now. And the second my mom came home at 4, they were like, okay, Chloe, go upstairs and your mom will watch Ava and we'll just sit and wait and film you until you get this phone call. And I was not allowed to see Ava until this phone call happened. So I literally was not with Ava for 3 hours. And that may not seem like a long time, but she was a newborn. I wanted to be with her. I wanted to spend time with her. I don't know. And so whenever that phone call did happen, they didn't even get the scene they wanted because, they probably did. I just looked like the bad guy because I was really trying to rush this phone call, and I was annoyed with the producers, so that kind of made me look mean, but I didn't care because I was like, I just want you guys to get out of my house and I want to play with my daughter. So it was just kind of stuff like that. I did get inappropriate questions, like the same questions Michaela got. She got way more than me, and I was talking to my mom about it, and I think that's just because TLC kind of knows who they can push more and who they can make say certain things around their family, because they would never ask me inappropriate questions in front of my parents because they know that if my mom was around, my mom would be like, she's not answering that, like that's gross. And I think they knew that, so they never really asked me that many inappropriate questions like they did Michaela. Not invalidating her at all. Like I said in the beginning, we have different experiences, so yeah. I just wanted to mention that because I know some people were like, where were the parents if their kids were getting asked all these inappropriate questions? And the answer could be, at least for me, my parents weren't there. And it's a lot easier to get a 16, 17-year-old to say or answer these questions when their parents aren't around and it's just them in a room with a bunch of older people on camera, you know what I mean? So that was kind of the answer to that. And again, a lot of people ask, well, if it was so uncomfortable, why'd you do multiple seasons? And I have to say that Michaela's right. They do get in your ear. The producer gets in your ear, and not the producer, like the head person, and they're like, it's gonna be different. We're only gonna film what you want us to film, and we're gonna tell you like where we're trying to go with your storyline and not like surprise you, and we'll be on your time. You don't have to say anything that's gonna make you uncomfortable. We'll pay you more. But then none of that happens. Also, you have to understand that we were 6 like teenagers, so it is a lot more easier to persuade us to do another season, if that makes sense. I don't know, I mean, a lot of my experience filming, my problems were never really with inappropriate stuff. It was more with producers trying to push things and push me to do things I didn't want to do and say things that I didn't want to say, but of course they knew that if they got me alone that they could make me say what I wanted them to say or what they wanted me to say. And I just, like, it was just stories like that. Like, I remember I even uploaded a story on here about how they wanted me to get Ava to cry on purpose, and I had to delete that video, but it was just this whole thing, and that's kind of where my issues lie with the show. It's my experience may not be like other people's, and other people may have worse or better experiences on it. But this was just mine because I know a lot of people were messaging me when this whole drama situation was going on. So I just wanted to share my story or my experience. Yeah, that was my experience. I'm sure there's a lot more that I'm missing, but like I said, it's all different. So I'll see you guys later.